Welcome back to the channel. This is Stuart from ZSD Toys and Play, and today we're going to be reviewing the ambulance. Okay, so this is model number 1536, the ambulance. Okay, so the first thing I'd just like to say about this model is that although it does look really cool, it is very light. There's a lot of this model which is a plastic compared to die-cast metal. But generally everything you see on here, this back section, the wheels as well, is plastic, and then this front section here is die-cast metal. You do get some nice livery on all sides of the vehicle. There is nothing opening on this vehicle though. And then you get plastic wheels. You do get nice you do get nice tinted coloured siren lights, as well as the screens as well, so that does make it look that little bit better. But overall, in terms of this model, once you pick it up, you realise straight away that it is of lower quality compared to a lot of the SIKU models. I think that's just one thing to point out. I do like what they've done in terms of the idea of getting an ambulance out there. Companies like Hot Wheels and even I think Majorette in the newer vehicle releases don't actually have an ambulance, so it is quite unique for this scale. In this sort of time in the early 2020s, that actually having an ambulance out there to get in this scale. The only one that I've managed to find is a Majorette one, and it was a more American style ambulance which I did get, and that was actually all die-cast metal. So in terms of pros and cons, I think the only pro I would say of this vehicle is that they've actually done it in terms of having an ambulance in this scale. I think other than that, there are lots of cons to this model. The one thing being is that you don't have rubber wheels. This is all plastic, and I just feel that once you pick this up, even though that you would normally pay a normal price point as you would with any other vehicle, even licensed vehicles, I think this model, I think the idea was absolutely brilliant, but the execution is actually quite lacking. I think this section could have been die-cast metal. In terms of playability, these doors should have opened. Our son has a bigger scale, not a 1/64 scale, similar range model from Majorette. I think it's more like a 150 style, and he plays with that day in and day out using the doors. There's actually a little stretcher that comes with it as well. And then he has a lot of fun in terms of role playing with those sorts of things, whereas this model, I think what they could have done on this, have opening doors, especially at this scale. I mean, in terms of this, I think this is quite achievable. And then rubber wheels, I think if they'd done that, this would have been a much better, higher quality vehicle. But if you're a collector, I think it's probably definitely one that you may like, but generally it's not one that I would have that I would buy. Okay, if you have any questions, please comment down below and I'll be happy to help.